All right, everybody, welcome back to Age of Radio Mercury, your home for podcasting and pop culture news on the Age of Radio Podcast Network. We are actually here today doing a mashup with our good friends CosTalk Live, so you should be able to stream this across Age of Radioverse, CosTalk Live, and the Geek Collective. We have been here all weekend long. I hope you've enjoyed everything that we've brought to you. I really enjoyed putting Dustin on Ryan K's swing in the vendor hall. That was really exciting. I've been wanting to get Dustin on that for a while. So that so far has been my favorite piece of it. But we're not done yet because I'm here with Angel from AZ Morphin Grid. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Absolutely, Angel. And we've had a chance to talk a few times in the past. I think we've had 2 interviews. Spider-Man,
It might just be the one.
just the
I
one.
think so.
Was it just a Spider-Man?
Yeah, I know we did the backpack.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So I think it was that one. I didn't get a chance to interview you at Game On. I don't.
Yeah, no,
think.
I don't think so.
But you were there.
Yeah, I
And
was.
you were you part of AZ Morphin Grid at that?
Game on this year. Oh no, I think I was just kind of freelancing.
Oh, you were
Yeah, so-
freelancing. All right, well, let's get started. We're at your booth right now for AZ Morphin Grid. We're going to go through some of the cool stuff that's here. But let's start with your outfit. Who are you dressed as today?
I am dressed as Justin, the Blue Turbo Ranger from the Power Rangers Turbo, which was the 3rd season, I believe.
Nice.
Yeah, the 3rd season of Power Rangers, or the 3rd series, I guess. 'Cause
Yeah.
there were multiple seasons of the first Mighty Morphin.
Nice.
And then they did the second movie, the only second movie that they did, the Power Rangers, was a Turbo
it was
movie.
a Turbo movie.
And then they never made a Power Rangers movie again until that 2017 movie that
remake,
we don't
the
really
reboot or
talk
whatever.
about too
Yeah.
much.
So was Justin the Turbo Ranger that was in the Turbo Ranger movie?
Yeah, so
Got it.
so the fun thing with that one is he was the only child that was a Power Ranger
Got
in
it.
the series. So he was actually a 10 or 12-year-old boy.
Nice.
And when he morphed, he would grow randomly to a full-size adult. And
Really?
Yeah, if you go back and you watch the morph season, you'll see that everyone else turns normal, and then when he turns, he just goes and stretches.
That's awesome.
It's
All right,
hilarious.
so we're going to sit down with Angel in a little bit, but I wanted to highlight their actual cosplay booth that they have here for AZ Morphin Grid. But we have some other cosplayers behind me.
Yep.
Do you want to go over their outfits and who they are
Yeah,
dressed as?
So this is Beto. He's one of our newer members. He's in the Mighty Morphin Blue Ranger. This is kind of a mashup of one of the newer concepts that they did, and then the older version. But yeah, that's from the first rendition of Power Rangers or Super Sentai. And then over here we have Mew. She's been with us for since almost the beginning of our establishment. She is Rita Repulsa, the main villain from the first series of Power Rangers.
And no kings, just cosmic queens. Love it. That is awesome. All right, so let's talk about down here on the table. It looks like you have the Green Ranger's suit is down here. Can you tell me a little bit about this? Did you guys make this, or what are these props for?
Yeah,
here?
so these are completely handcrafted and/or 3D printed. So the shields are handcrafted with EVA foam that are sealed with I just went blank, plastic dip, and then spray painted and finished off.
Now, did you make these, or did other members? Did all
No,
of you make them? Or how did it come to be?
I made these pieces right here.
Nice.
Yeah. And then so the helmet is 3D printed, same process as normal, just sanded, finished, painted. And then it's a welding visor that's cut and then hot glued inside the helmet. And then of course it's just an elastic hinge that closes it together and snaps.
Nice.
Next to it is a Loki Ranger variant of the Green Ranger. So this one is why I have the Loki crown here. It has the same Loki horns. And then this is based off of an art concept that I found online. And then that shield is actually completely custom based off of that concept.
So the Loki piece of it was just something that you had seen, seen
online,
online, and then
that I
you pushed it
recreated.
together. Got it. Nice. All right, and then what are some of these over here?
Right. So then a lot of this is just kind of dressing. So the Power Ranger stuff here are just little knickknacks that we've collected over time. But these masks right here are also 3D printed in-house. This is the Rita Repulsa from the Once and Always, the newest special that they did, rebooting Mighty Morphin. And then this is the Putty Patroller. which is like one of the like underlings of Rita. Uh, and then like next to that, we just have some of the random weapons used. This is used in the first Mighty Morphin series. This is their blaster that they use. And this was actually the Blue Rangers used in that first series as well. This was in one episode only and used against one specific monster. So it's a really niche.
Right. So there's like this is just a prop for a piece that was only one piece.
It was only
that
used
in
once.
the Ranger.
Like, yeah.
And it was in the series.
Yes, it was in
Nice.
the original
Was it the
series.
original series?
Yes, the original.
Got
I
it.
think it was in the first season as well.
Got it. That is awesome. So did they have to make it in that actual like in the episode to have it? Or
Yeah,
they have to
yeah,
find
they
it?
actually needed to create it specifically for that monster because that
That's
monster
awesome.
just kept messing with him, and it was the only way. Which was funny because they actually it's a foam gun, so the only way they were able to stop the monster was with foam.
Wow.
Yeah, it's one of those wacky episodes. So.
Nice. All right. So we are going to go to a break, and we're going to sit down at our Age of Radio Mercury booth next to CosTalk Live, and we're going to have a full interview with Angel and get to know him a little bit better and to get to know the AZ Morphin grid a little bit better. So we'll be right back. All right, Angel, we are back. Thank you, everybody, for watching Age of Radio Mercury and CosTalk Live mashup. We're actually back in our booth. We had to go through a crowd of people because this thing is jammed packed in this hallway, and I think because it leads from one of the vendor halls over to the main stage. But I'm back here with Angel, who's dressed as a blue Turbo Power Ranger. Is that how I would say that?
Labubu.
Yeah.
Yeah. Labubu face. Yeah, it's a blue Turbo Ranger.
All right, so let's start off with this. I want to highlight AZ Mighty Morphin Grid. How did that cosplay group come to be, and how did you get involved with it, or were you one of the founders of it?
Yeah, so I'm actually one of the founders. The other founder is a good buddy of mine. He's been really busy with life, so he kind of like fell back a little bit. So I've been kind of like taking reins and kind of guiding us down the path. So it's been pretty stressful. A lot of events coming in, trying to keep attendance going and stuff. But like so today we have 3 members. We typically have about 10 to 12 members total.
Oh wow!
So yeah, so we actually when we roll deep, we roll pretty deep. But so today it's a light team, and tomorrow we're gonna have a Pink Ranger with us. I know today was
awesome.
Rita and
you had
Blue
Rita
Ranger.
and 2 Blue Rangers,
Yeah,
but
2
they
Blue
were
Rangers.
different. Yeah.
Yeah. So and then typically all the other costumes in our group right now are Mighty Morphin. So the Turbo Ranger is our first Ranger that's not in that first a series of Rangers. So we're planning on having more. The goal here is to have multiple series, different Rangers, because there are so many Power Rangers that like you could do like tons of different costumes.
It's been going on now for over 30 years.
Yes, and if you think back to like Super Sentai where it originated, even further back, almost 50, 60 years.
Oh, right, because then
it started back in the I think late 60s, early 70s.
Correct, yeah, absolutely. So so then so let's start here too for a second question. I know that's a little bit about AZ Mighty Morphin, but how did you get started in cosplay?
So that it's been about almost 3 years now, probably about 2.5, a little over that. Originally I wanted to get in for the charity aspect. What happened was I was randomly bored scrolling on YouTube videos, and I saw the 501st. They were doing like hospital visits and stuff, and I saw all the stormtroopers and Darth Vader like marching down the aisle, seeing the kids, and I thought I want to do that. I thought that's super cool, and that was back before 3D printing. So I was like, how much is it gonna cost for me to get a stormtrooper costume? Like I want to do that. I looked it up; it was like $2,000. I was like, oh there is no way. There was no way, because that was before like everything was made with like Warpla and stuff back then. So like that was so much work and time to make one of those suits. So I was looking on and I was like, there's no way I'm gonna do that. So then I found the Mandalorian Mercs, which is the sub group of them, and it was way easier. They had a lot of tutorials on how to do it yourself. So I started making like a literal 5-gallon bucket kit where it's like the helmet's made out of one of the 5-gallon like Home Depot buckets.
Yep.
And I almost finished that before life happened, and I kind of fell out of the like drive to do that. So then like 8 years later, let's not like put too much hints on my age there, but 8 years later I was like, I'm ready to do it. And then I got a 3D printer and I made my first Mandalorian.
That is freaking awesome. And 3D printing is something that I think do you think 3D printing has helped get people more into the craft, more, I guess, more intricate outfits or cosplays because it lowers the cost to be able to build them?
Yes, definitely. I mean, like cost can be debatable, because back then there was like you could either do the Warbler, which was pricier and like a whole skill set that you had to learn.
Yeah.
But then there was like the Pepakura, where you could get the templates cut out and you can like kind of form them and then use EVA foam and kind of build it. So you could still do that stuff. And then back then they were still doing like the cardboard builds and then like using the they were sealing it up with like Bondo and stuff and making it hard. So there were still ways to get around it. They were kind of cheaper, but it was more time consuming, and like you had to learn different skills to make it happen.
So real quick, briefly, tell me about how you made this? Is this partially bought, partially made?
Yes, it's another one of those with Ranger suits. It can be a little more difficult to make the base suit because there are a lot more details details. This one I did purchase. I think this was an AliExpress one.
Got it.
So it's from a specific costumer builder though.
Right.
They go by Uncle Hulk, I think, and
Okay,
they do
s-
Super Sentai specifically.
Oh, so he actually, it wasn't like a mass produced outfit like that goes into a Halloween store
Yeah,
or
no,
something like
it's
that.
a specialty
Got it.
shop. Like I wouldn't say it's like a commission-based shop. It's more like a
Right.
specialty shop that specializes in like Super Sentai and that kind of theme of costumes. So they have like all the Kamen Rider base suits and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's where I got this. But like the gloves, this is just like gloves off of Amazon that I attached like leather strips to give that same detail for the Turbo Ranger. I have this. Here, I'll pull my buckle off. This is actually 3D printed here.
And you made the buckle
Yeah,
part
yeah.
of
So
it.
that's 3D printed and painted, and then I actually have like some clear yellow plastic that I glued onto there for the headlight lenses.
Nice.
So this is custom, and then like my boots are the same boots I use for everything with the same leather or the black strip on the top.
So the helmet is this? Did you make this, or how did
Yes.
is this? Okay.
So unlike my like other Blue Ranger, which is a Hasbro helmet,
Got it.
you can't really get the helmets from the other series unless you get them commissioned
Got
or
it,
make
okay.
them yourself. So the Turbo, this is completely 3D printed. You can hold it if you want.
Got it. Let
But
me
it's
see.
a completely 3D printed
But this
and
this
painted.
unlatches for you to put your
Yeah,
head
so
in,
it
right?
does pop open.
I know you can.
It's
Can I do
tension.
this?
Yeah.
Okay. So for anybody who's watching this, this is like unlocks essentially, and then you put your face in, and then you wrap it around the back, right?
Yeah. And then it's tension based, so you
Here,
have to like pinch.
I don't wanna break it.
Yeah. So you just take it, you pinch, pop, and then seal.
Yeah.
So
God, I didn't want to break it because
yeah, you know,
I don't know. We break stuff all the time. I
tabs
was like,
break
I'm
all
not
the
gonna break it,
times
I'm not
too.
gonna
It's
break
like I've broken them at least twice.
it.
So.
So, again, we mentioned that the Power Rangers, they had been. It's been going since the 60s and 70s, technically,
Right.
in the United States for at least 30 years, maybe plus. And so you think that the Power Rangers fandom, it's remained so strong over the years. What is it about the Rangers specifically that you think that keeps it going for so long? Like, why has it inspired you? Because like when we were over there talking, you knew it seemed very. You knew intricate knowledge about the show.
Yeah.
Like you spend time on it, so it's meaningful.
Right.
So what is it about that show that brings that meaningfulness to you to want to do this?
So it's funny because you say that, and it's like I have talked to people that have made me felt like I know nothing.
Really?
Like they'll talk to me like I have no idea what you're talking to. Like someone came up to me earlier today, and they're like, "What's your favorite quote from In Space?" And I was like, "Bro, I couldn't tell you one line from that show." It's like I love that show, but I don't remember anything that they
Yeah.
said on there. So it's like there's like stuff like that happens. But to go back to the main part of your question, I think one thing that really resonates with me was it was one of the earliest introductions I had to like the hero and the fight
Got it.
scenes and
Yeah.
the like saving the day. And then like my earliest memory of like watching cartoons, I loved Voltron. Again,
Got it,
it's
yep.
not date me too much, but like
Yep.
Voltron was one of those things like it's so cool seeing the big robot forming. So
Yep.
like that happening like in live action with the Power Rangers, I think
Yep.
drew me. And then it's also like each episode, at least back then with the original series, they didn't like sugarcoat things. Like they like went straight for like some like real problems that teens were dealing with.
Right.
And then like even though there were like monster fights and stuff, they were still dealing with like real teenage problems like bullying
Right.
or like
So like they were
drugs or-
going through like regular life situations on top of the fact that they were also saving the world.
Yeah,
while
but they were also like constantly
right,
ditching class to
right.
go beat up
save
monsters.
The world. Right, yeah, absolutely.
So-
So in the bio for the AZ Morphin Grid, it talks a little bit about bettering the community by actively demonstrating the core values of the Power Rangers.
Right.
Are you able to talk a
Yeah.
little bit more about that? So are those
Yes.
core values that show up throughout the show and you like found them, or do they state those core values? What can you go into that more, and what does that mean?
Yeah, so the core values have been kind of loosely like discussed through the fan base and a little hinted from the actual like creators.
Yeah.
But picked up through the different seasons. The one like the like 5 main ones that are pretty consistent through all the series
Okay.
is teamwork, commitment, courage, integrity, respect, and commitment. So
Okay.
so those things are the ones that that really kind of like we want to demonstrate, because those values, as long as they're followed, creates like a good like person in society, someone that you can depend on, someone that you can respect, someone that you know can be there for you. And if everyone can kind of hold up to those values, the world would be a better place, because we could actually like lean into each other. We'd be there for each other like humans are
Yeah. No,
typically supposed to be.
yeah,
So
that's beautiful. So when you guys go and do events, like I know we're at a convention right now, but you go
right.
doing do you do other events at, like, I don't know, children's places or hospitals
Uh,
or things like that? Do you talk about the values, or how does that show up when you're out in the community?
Right. So right now, we try to mainly actively demonstrate the values. Like they kind of say, like it's hard not to smile back when someone smiles at you. It's kind of the same thing. Like it's hard
Got
to
it. Yeah.
fight kindness with negativity.
Negativity,
Like
right? Yep.
if you show the world positivity, like it's more likely you get positivity back.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like how we demonstrate it. We do try to do other events. Right now, because we are so new, we're still trying to get our like connections and networking in to
Got
get into like hospitals and high schools.
Yeah.
We did recently just get reached out to do an event in December, which is more of like a free family event.
That's awesome.
Which is going to be more for bringing awareness. I think it was like for autism.
Oh,
So
nice.
so we're going to be going to that, and that's going to be one of our first like lax ones where we're going to try to raise awareness more.
Yeah, speaking of that specifically with the autism, I know a lot of the cosplay groups, they usually sell the props or raise money during the
Right.
event to donate. Are you guys doing that here at this event, or
Uh,
are you not at that stage yet?
So we do have some props to sell. I feel like right now it is kind of a niche thing still,
Okay.
so we don't get a lot of like sales on our bigger props, like our helmets and our
Uh-huh.
like big shields and stuff. We have sold like some of our little like bracelets and knickknacks.
Yeah.
Those go for roughly like $5 to $10, so it's more understandable why those sell. We're probably gonna start leaning more towards the smaller things in the future, and then go more commission based for like bigger things for like real fans that want those.
Got
So
it.
we'll continue to display the props that we can make, but it's probably going to be more so of like a commission based thing. Like if you want a specific helmet, we can do that for you.
Got it.
Anything we sell, we do, the majority of the proceeds go to charity,
Yeah.
and then the rest goes back into the group. So we can try to start raising money to either make more props, but we're also trying to raise money to fund like trips, because we do. One of the big things going into like the autism thing while we're on it, is one thing we really push for is inclusivity.
Got it.
So we do have a couple newer members that we're trying to get into the group. The one does have like a high, is on the higher spectrum for autism.
Got it.
So we're kind of working on his costume right now to try
that's
to get
awesome.
him involved and try to assist him in
That's
kind of
really
like
cool.
being more involved in the community and trying to work past those struggles. So
No, thank you for sharing that. Right now, you're dressed as the Blue Turbo Ranger. Is that the Ranger that you most connect with, or is there another Ranger that you connect with more that you also have cosplay for as well?
yeah, so with the Blue Ranger, I normally do the Mighty Morphin, who is Billy
Yep.
in the show.
Got it.
So with him, I do kind of relate more, because I have always kind of felt more on like the techier side of things.
Okay,
So like
that
it's
makes
always
sense.
kind of been my skill set.
Yep.
And then he's also always kind of like found himself in positions where he had to lead unexpectedly, because he was always one to like fall back, but for
Yep.
some reason he always got pulled forward to try to lead the team in
Right.
the
Yep.
background.
Mhm.
So that's kind of like how I feel like even now kind of having like I don't really like to be like in the spotlight or like in
Right.
charge, but it kind of like fell back
It
onto
falls
me
back
to
on you.
to
And,
pull
you
the
know,
team together. So
It's interesting that you mentioned that, because that's really how like a lot of leaders are kind of like get into their leadership
Right.
role, because they're doing so much, they believe in the passion and the mission, and then there's an opportunity that no one else can kind of fill that, and they
Right.
kind of are asked to do that because of their passion that they have
Yeah.
for it. What's your favorite memory from a con or fan event where you felt a lot of Power Ranger energy? Whether that was kids, fans. I know at Game On Expo there was the Red Ranger was there, if I'm not no, maybe not. Maybe
Oh
yeah.
wait, no. There was Nakia. Yeah, Nakia was there.
Okay.
The Yellow Ranger.
Oh, that's yep,
yeah. So
yeah.
it was the Yellow Ranger. The two Yellow Rangers were there. It was Nakia. She was in the second rendition. She was Turbo, and Zio.
Yeah.
And then the other one, loss of her
Yeah,
name right
no,
now,
it's
but she
okay.
was the
But
first
they
Yellow
did
Ranger.
Okay. So has there been an event that the outfit is very Power Ranger centric that just comes to mind, or that you've had a really good experience
I
when you're
think
there?
the best experience we've had so far as a group was unfortunately one where we only had like 2 members there that were active, like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
But it was actually Tucson Comic Con. We actually made the trip all the way out to Tucson, and we had a big booth. We had like a 20.
Was that this year?
Yeah, that was this year.
Oh, I was
we
there.
Had
We had our booth there.
Oh,
but,
really?
Yeah,
Oh,
but
then
we
missed
didn't do a lot of we had people come down and it went so. But tell me more.
Yeah, no, we had a 20 by 10 booth at that spot. So the backdrop that we had over here at this booth, we had on its own off to the side so people could take pictures in front of it. And that was actually part of the scavenger hunt, was take a picture at the command center.
Nice.
So people were coming and taking pictures in front of that. And then on the other half, we had our table set up in an L shape with all of our props on it. But the great thing about that is Steve Cardenas was there, the original Red Ranger.
Oh, maybe that's that's what I'm thinking of. Yes. So that was at Tucson Comic Con.
Yeah,
okay.
And then I actually ran into him during setup. So I met him like early on, and then he was running around looking for merch to sell at his table. So I was like, oh boy, I should have contacted him earlier.
Yeah.
I could have made him a bunch of props.
Yeah.
So but then later on, he saw me with my big bucket of like Green Ranger stuff. So he was telling people that kept coming to him like, go upstairs, like the Green Ranger's up there with his group. So that was super exciting. And then because it was the Red Ranger, all the Power Ranger fans were coming up and giving us a bunch of love, and we actually
awesome.
found out that we kind of took spot of like an old Ranger group that everyone was trying to find and get a hold of. So it was a really big networking opportunity for us, and it was great to see that there was actually a lot more love for Power Rangers than we even expected there to be.
Is there a current Power Ranger show that's active right now?
No, actually there's not. So what's been happening is the IP has kind of been being hot potatoed around by different companies.
Okay.
The most current thing that's happened, there was the Once and Always like special on Netflix that they did. That was like a reunion type episode.
Oh, I remember that.
And then most recently, the big hype in the Power Ranger scene, if you want to call it that, is what is it? Ninja Kids, I think. It's like a YouTube channel. They got a licensing project.
You know, Joey was telling me about it. They got a licensing project. They're making.
Yeah, so they're doing like a
fan
internet
show,
like a web
show.
series reboot,
and it actually looks pretty.
Their
decent.
suits are amazing.
The
suits are better than any thing that I've seen recently. They have these embroideries throughout the entire suit with the design of the dinosaurs and stuff on it.
Yeah.
They had to spend like $1,000 on each suit at minimum.
That's awesome.
So that's coming out. That's probably like the most recent thing as far as Power Rangers.
Something.
And Fortnite.
Oh yeah, something that I think about sometimes when it comes to fandoms is sometimes in fandom communities they lose someone that's a really big part of the community.
Right.
Tommy Oliver was known as both the Green and the White Ranger, and maybe some other Ranger renditions that I'm not aware of. And so I was just kind of curious, he was portrayed by Jason David Frank, and he sadly passed away, unfortunately, by suicide back in 2022.
Right.
I guess a question for you is, how do you feel that his passing affected not only the Power Rangers community as a whole, and did that have an impact on you being a Power Rangers fan when that happened? And do you think that kind of do you think that happening even made the Power Rangers story and their virtues that they talk about even more powerful?
Yeah,
I know that's a loaded question.
Yeah, that's a very
it's a lot of
question.
questions. So wherever you feel like you want to share with that.
I can start at the beginning. So the thing with JDF, I feel like as far as Power Rangers go, because he was more than that. So the original where he started from, he was the Green and White Ranger.
Yep.
What makes him so significant in the Power Ranger community is he was one of the original actors that tried really hard to stay actively a part of the community.
Yep.
So he did come back multiple times. So he stayed through those the original season as the White and Green, and then when they changed up and they did the Zeo Rangers, he became the Red Ranger for that.
Yep.
And then after that, I think he even carried into Turbo for a very short period before they just completely rebooted the cast.
Yeah.
So there he was already. Wait, I might be mistaken on that one. Don't quote me there. I might be getting confused.
That's okay.
But he did come back way later, like years later, like probably 6 seasons later. There's so many
There was
seasons
some
that I
time
did,
that went by,
but
and
there was like a Dino Thunder where they did 3 Power Rangers instead of like the whole
Right,
5,
yep.
and he came in as like the 4th Special Ranger, and he was
Okay.
like the Black Ranger for
Okay.
that.
And he was
So-
still Tommy Oliver.
Yeah, and he was still Tommy Oliver. There was actually like an episode where he like had a dream sequence, and he was like all of the Rangers that he's ever
Wow.
done. So that was like one of his big iconic episodes because it was like a tribute to all the characters that he played.
Yeah. So I guess with that though, do people still like? I mean, is there conversations that you guys have about? Because it seems like he was very significant because he
Right.
was in all of it. It
Yeah,
seems
no,
like,
he was there for
most
the
part.
whole run.
So are there lots of like people that kind of celebrate that in the community?
Yeah, so JDF is actually held very, very, very
Right.
highly in the community
Yeah.
because of how dedicated he was to Power Rangers and how
Yeah.
much love he had for the community. He is held very highly. I've heard so many experiences of people that actually like communicated with him or met him, and the stories are always genuine and
Wow.
positive. Like he was genuinely a very, very good guy.
That's awesome.
Like so. That's another reason why like he is such a respected and like a highly praised person in Power Rangers is because he not only loved the franchise and tried to stay actively a part of it for so long, he loved the community and the fans, and he was always trying to be there for them and like show that positive message that we're currently
Yeah.
kind of trying to carry on.
No, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Angel. I know that was a difficult question.
Yeah.
So where do you see the Mighty Morphin grid? Am I saying it right?
It's a AZ Morphin grid or
AZ.
Arizona
I wrote
Morphin
it down
grid.
like 4 different ways, and then I was like, AZ Morphin grid. So where do you see the AZ Morphin grid in the future? Are you going to try? Obviously, you have kind of a deep group now. You're
Right.
trying to grow that. So what's the goal for that? Is it to keep growing it? I know you mentioned maybe having different renditions of the actual
Right.
Rangers throughout it. And then are there other events that you're focused on going to?
Yeah, so right now, the main focus for us is trying to continue to get out there, get networking going, so that we can get those invites and show that we are serious about what we're doing and that we're not going to just disappear like others might have. We're here for the long run. We're here for the message. As long as there's that opening and want for us to be there, we're going to be there. So for the long term, where I would like to see us is having a big solid member base where if someone can't make it, someone else can. So
Right.
we're not having the situation where there's
Where you
like
don't have
2
enough
of us.
right,
I
right.
want to be able to have all of our badges being used
Right.
and
Do you also try? Do you see it in the future? Like I know you have a Blue Ranger today, the original, and then you have your Turbo.
Right.
Do you see it in the future where you try to even coordinate it where you're all the Turbo Rangers in
Yes.
one event? Right? Is that kind of like what you're trying
yeah,
to get
so that's
to?
what we've been trying to do with Mighty Morphin. We got pretty close to that recently. I think right now we haven't gotten them all together, but right now we are only missing a Yellow Ranger.
Got it.
We do have a pending Yellow Ranger.
So,
She's
so you
working
so
on a
you're
costume.
almost there.
I have a helmet commissioned, but it's kind of like I'm just waiting on the other
Right.
end to come through. But yeah, so the Yellow Ranger position is still open for Mighty Morphin if someone out there wants to join. But also, yeah, we've been trying to get together to try to do like full team up sets, but then also like long term, it would be really cool to do like, I know they've done specials where they do like the red forever or whatever, where it's like all the red Rangers that
so
have
then
ever
you
been.
have all
Like,
the
so if
different
we could do
got it.
all blue or all red, like do
Yeah.
those kind of themes, that would be cool too.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And then also like touching back on long term, one of our major goals is to start our own type of like Ranger Stop or like Power Morphicon in Arizona. So in the future, what we want to
okay.
do is have our own event where we have Ranger actors come out. We have a lot of Ranger
so you kind
cosplayers
of make it
come
like
out
a
and do
Ranger
it.
con.
Yeah, like a Ranger
Yeah,
con,
like Power Rangers con,
because
or
there's Ranger
whatever, yeah.
cons in like different states, but
Yeah.
we don't have one specifically here.
Okay.
And after starting our group and going to different events, we realized there are a ton of Ranger fans and cosplayers out
that,
here.
Yeah, that's kind of like one of the things that like I was excited to sit down with you about to kind of try to understand why that is, because I don't know if it's like because it was on for so long, if it's just very meaningful, it's fun to watch,
Right.
which it's all those things. It's just it's interesting because you know, I remember watching it growing up, but then to see people so adamant about it
Right.
so many years later
Yeah,
is
I
just
know.
amazing.
Yeah, no, even like to this day, I'm surprised sometimes when I show up to these events and it'll be like a 5 or 6 year old be like, it's the Power Ranger. And I'm like, how do you know who I am?
Exactly.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
it just keeps
and it's
going.
like, and this was before Fortnite even like brought it in. So I
Right.
was like, before Fortnite, I was like, how do you know who I am?
Yeah, absolutely.
So like, it's awesome to see. And a lot of it, I've learned like some of the parents, because it's such an iconic show and it touched me so deeply. Like it touched a lot of people like at this age in ways where they've passed it on to their kids. Like they'll pull up Netflix and they're like, here, watch this show. And they get their kids into like the old Power Ranger
Right,
shows because it
right.
was what they watched as a kid.
What is what other events are you going to be at this year? Do you have any scheduled yet?
So this year, so there's an Imperial Valley Con on Saturday. So that's in California. It's just over the border.
Okay.
We're currently coordinating the trip for that.
Got it.
That is a one-day con. We're really trying to make that one because they did hype us up a lot for that event. So I was like, well, now we got to go. I was like, we're the best Power Ranger group in the world. We have to show up now.
If they can sponsor you to go, and it'll make it easier.
Right. So
I don't think people realize how much work and effort and money goes into making these things happen.
Yeah.
Even when they're a part of a nonprofit, like you get the tables for free,
Yeah.
there's still a lot that goes into
So
it.
yeah, because early on, like in our group's like lifespan, like right now we're just kind of like eating it and like taking like whatever we can and doing whatever we can to show that we're serious, because we are doing whatever like we can to promote ourselves and do the positive things that we're trying to do. So that's the next planned event. On December 6th, we have that. It's the that event I was telling you about.
Yep.
It's for the autism awareness.
Oh, nice.
That one is in East Mesa, borderline AJ, I think.
Okay.
Like Apache Junction. And then on that same day, we were invited back by Tucson Comic-Con to do the light parade.
Oh, nice.
So we're going to end up probably doing the 2
That's
for
awesome.
that day. And we're going to leave from there and then go to Tucson for the parade.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Angel. I appreciate your time.
Yeah,
I appreciate you sharing everything. Where can people find you on social media, and where can people find AZ Morphin Grid?
All right. So I'll start with AZ Morphin Grid.
Because yours is more difficult. If
Yeah.
You still
So
have the same one.
it is. I'm going to condense that one. I promise. I have writer's block. Not good with names. So I got lucky with AZ Morphin Grid. It just kind of like popped. So I was like, all right, cool. And that's exactly what it is on Instagram and Facebook. It's at AZ Morphin Grid 1G. And that should take you to our Instagram and our Facebook. We have a TikTok, but someone decided to take our TikTok name, so we had to change it up, and I don't remember exactly what it is right now.
You can find them on Instagram, and then from there, maybe you can reach out to them and get the
Google us,
TikTok.
and I'm sure it'll be popped up. We also have a website. It's azmorphingrid.info. We had .com, but we had some issues with that, so we're getting that back soon. And then that's all our media there. The website's mainly going to be there just to describe our purpose in a longer format, and we upload pictures from different events there occasionally as well.
And then what's your Instagram?
And then mine is at Polymathic Anomaly.
Which is actually a cool name. It's just very difficult for social media handle.
It has a deeper meaning, but it's Poly, P-O-L-Y, and then Mathic, M-A-T-H-I-C, and then Anomaly. Hopefully you know how to spell anomaly.
All right, well, you'll figure it. Well, it took me forever to find it, so if you can't spell it, don't worry. Google it, and then you'll find it.
If you can get Polymath out, you'll find me. It's a purple picture.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Angel. I appreciate your time. We'll be back with some other interviews this afternoon. We also have our cosplay showcase, which will be live as well. Again, my name is Jeremy, the host of Age of Radio Mercury, your home for podcasting and other pop culture news. And this is part of our Mercury CosTalk Live mashup at UwuCon 2025 in Mesa, Arizona. We'll be here this evening, and we'll be here all day tomorrow. And as I always say, be thankful, grateful, and kind. And we'll talk with you soon. Bye.